This is part 2 of my interview with Mr. Scott Martin, who is the owner of BI Heating and Air. The last question we asked was, what is the role of communication in this field? And Mr. Martin replied with meeting with the people face to face when you go into their homes. So being able to communicate with other people and being able to work in a group is very good for this area of work.
Yeah, and as far as working in a group, you go to work for an air conditioning company. Like I said, you have different departments in that air conditioning company. You have a service tech, you have an installer or a duct mechanic. You may have a subcontractor like an electrician or an insulator or something like that, and y'all have got to work together. That duct mechanic has to come in and do his portion. The electrician comes in and does his portion. Then the AC tech comes in, starts it up and everything else, but one without the other doesn't jive. So there has to be a lot of communication with the different groups of the company or the different subcontractors. You may come into a home and not only are they doing something with the air conditioning, maybe they're doing something with a general contractor, like maybe knocking out a door or knocking out a hole for a garage or something. So you've got to work alongside of those people too. So if you don't communicate well, you won't go far in this trade, guaranteed.
A few more questions. What are some special requirements dealing with this field?
Well, years ago we had a journeyman's license, and everybody tried their best to if you got a journeyman's license, you got more pay. A journeyman mechanic made more than just someone that didn't have it. You went through that 4-year apprenticeship program, as I stated. You went and took a test, and a practical test and a written test, and you got your journeyman's license. This day and time, Florida does not have a journeyman program. You still have a lot of good qualified people out there, but there's just no need to carry a card anymore. So you really have a lot of technical training, what I call continuing education, that goes on because the trade is evolving as computer science comes out. Units now, you have to get up there on a roof or in someone's home and you actually plug in with a laptop to diagnose what the problem is. So there's quite a bit of ongoing, every week, every month, every year training that has to be done.
How would you open your own business? How would you go about that process?
Well, you have to, number one, you have to prove you have the experience. Number two, you have to go take a state contractor's exam. That exam consists of 2 days, roughly 19 hours of testing. There's a business portion as well as a practical portion, which is, the workings of the systems and installation and stuff like that. It's a grueling test, and it costs you about $2,000 to do that. You have to drive to Tallahassee and take the test. It's not all people pass it, and it's a real hard test.
What license do you have personally?
I have a state mechanical contractor's license. There's 3 levels. There is a Class B, which is you are able to install up to 25 tons. You can work on anything, but up to 25 tons installation. A Class A is up to 100 tons, and then a mechanical is completely unlimited. Mechanical, you can also work on hospital. You can install hospitals, which is all your med gas, all your special gases throughout the hospital, and you also can do fuel storage, fuel tanks, gas stations, that kind of thing. But I have a mechanical contractor's license.
So tonnage, when you're talking about the size of the AC unit?
Yeah, it's unlimited.
Okay. That's about it for our interview. That's all the questions I have. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you very much.
Let me interview you about your career. And that's